Hello, my name is Kurt Marshall. This is my persuasion speech. Quick question for everybody watching the video. Who went to bed on a full stomach last night? Who went to bed hungry? Statistically speaking, I would bet that 3 people in this class went to bed hungry. That is due to the food insecurity issues that Idaho is currently facing. 1 in 7 adults and 1 in 5 children in Idaho have no idea where their next meal are going to come from. And that is, to me, an issue in our community. So why bring this up? Well, as a child, when I was in grade school, my family had to utilize a lot of government assistance programs because we didn't have enough money. We were on food stamps at one point. We were also on reduced school lunches. Even though both of my parents were working, they weren't making enough money to meet that level. So I learned a lot from that, but I also gained a level of embarrassment and shame associated with it that comes with the ability to not provide for oneself or one's family. This past fall, I got to join my son on a field trip to the Idaho Food Bank. He's in a grade school that really emphasizes community service and giving back to the community. So earlier in the harvest season, my son went out and collected potatoes with his class. In the class, the intent was to donate all potatoes they gathered up to the Idaho Food Bank. At that point, the teachers offered the parents to join the kids to the Idaho Food Bank to really emphasize the community giving back aspect. So I joined them, never really did any kind of community service, never volunteered in any way, but I wanted to see what it was all about. And while I was there, I noticed an old coworker of mine in line at the talking to one of the employees of the food bank. When I approached him, assuming that he had a child there, I asked him which child was his, and he said, I don't have a child here. I'm here for food. And that really kind of stuck with me because knowing about that person, I knew that he made what I thought was a decent living, but we don't really know the whole story when it comes to what people are going through. So I felt that level of embarrassment, I felt that level of shame, knowing that I could assume what he was feeling. And that's really where the biggest issue with food donation or government assistance programs comes from. And that's usually when people, and I've heard my coworkers and I've heard my friends say this, that people that are on welfare programs, they just want a free handout. They don't want to help themselves. And I also hear things like, well, people on welfare eat better than I do, so why should I help? Or they only buy junk food. They only buy soda pop with their food stamps, and they don't buy quality food. As well as, I work for all my food, why should someone else get free when I have to work? And these are all arguments you could make against helping. We'll tackle why that's not necessarily true later, but the second side of it is a more internal argument for that, and that would be, I just don't have the time, I don't have the money to donate, which in some cases might be true. I thought that was the case as well for me, and we'll refute that as well. So perception is that the people have no desire to get off welfare. The majority of individuals on welfare actually have some sort of job. They actually work. They just don't make enough money to make ends meet. Statistically speaking, so anybody that's on a welfare program, 49% of those people qualify for nearly all government programs, government aided programs. The Idaho Food Bank is not one of those, but they qualify for food stamps, WIC, reduced lunches for schools. 19% of those people don't qualify for food stamps, but they do qualify for WIC and reduced school lunches. And then 32%, this is a huge number, they make enough money at work, but they don't make enough money to qualify for, they make too much money to qualify for food stamps and too much money to qualify for WIC and reduced school lunches. And these are the majority of people that are using the Idaho Food Bank. These are the people who will utilize that as a means to supplement from paycheck to paycheck some food. See my coworker, that's exactly what I knew he was doing, was he was utilizing that, even though he made what I felt was a livable wage, he obviously needed to use that. Senior citizens fall into the same category. There are many senior citizens who can't work. They're past the age where they can actually work, and they have to utilize these food banks because their Social Security, they live off that, but it's not enough. So they'll usually find food banks or other organizations that will give them a hot meal once or twice a week. And that's who you usually see utilizing the food bank systems. And then the idea of too much time, or not having enough time, not having enough money. What I found when I actually looked into it was a little different. It was more than I expected. So the thing with volunteering is you can volunteer as much or as little time as you have. So if you have extra time, you can do it, and it's not going to take all of your free time. When you do volunteer your time, you will spend your time repackaging food. A lot of food gets donated in bulk or gets donated in smaller sizes, and you will be repackaging them to make bigger family portion sizes. You'll also be relabeling cans that might not be labeled. You'll label them with things, with stickers that will say what's in it, as well as creating backpacks for kids for school lunches. They also do food drives, and you can drop off food too. So if you don't have time, but you just have food lying around your house, food that's close to their expiration date, or you're not going to eat it, you can take it down to the food bank and drop it off. And then the money side of it, this is the part that I was surprised with. $1 can provide enough food for 4 meals. That's a lot easier than we think it is, and a lot more convenient. So next time you're thinking about eating a fast food meal, which everyone knows you're going to regret it, you're going to spend $5 on the food, hate every second of it. You can take that $5, donate it, and that's 20 meals right there just for $5. That's 20 meals for several families. So even if you're doing it once a month, once a week, either way, it's actually quite a impact to the community. So we have too many people right now going hungry in our community. We live in a time of incredible waste. I don't know how much food you've seen wasted. I see it a lot, and a lot of that food is just going to waste when we have children and families that are going hungry. Most of us ignore that side of it. We sweep it under the rug and we think it's not going to happen to me. It's too much work. I don't have enough money. No one else is helping me. These are all arguments that people will talk themselves out of doing to help. But it's not too hard to help, and others will help you if you ask. If you are interested in helping, the address to the food bank, if you want to drop off food, is 555 South First Avenue in Pocatello. Also, if you want to donate money, just visit idahofoodbank.org/donate. And if you want to donate your time, visit idahofoodbank.volunteerhub.com, and that will get you set up there. All right. Thank you very much for listening.